Greetings, 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 one and all. Here we go again, back at it. For whatever, backwards never. The beautiful Nicole is in the building. We got Fresno, California. We got Milwaukee in the building. We got Woodbridge, Virginia in the building by way of New York City. Rep your city, rep your city, rep your city. Yes, indeed. So we're going to talk about generational wealth. Generational wealth. Generational wealth is only generational if you have children. San Jose, California in the building. For you men out there, you brothers out there, you better have you some babies and you better try to have some sons. You need to try to have as many sons as you can afford. Because other than that, what you working for? Who you gonna pass it down to? You working to give it all back to the state? You working to have distant relatives arguing over it because you don't have a son to pass it down to? I'm not hating on the daughters, but daughters get married and take on another man's name. We give our daughters away in marriage. Give away. So your lineage and your bloodline is in your sons. Think about that. I was thinking about Gilly and Wallow, and I was thinking how Gilly lost his son. That's got to hurt. I think that's his only son. That's got to hurt. Wallow don't have no sons, I don't think. I don't even think if he got no children, he just do a lot of talking. He buying a bunch of junk with nobody to give it to. Straight out the penitentiary teacher. Bro, you just got the penitentiary. You can't teach nobody nothing. But whatever. He need to shut up and go have some babies. Well, what do I know, huh? That's what I would tell him. Go shut up and go have some babies. Then talk. You know what I'm saying? Don't try to pass that knowledge down to us. You ain't even got your own sons and daughters to pass nothing down to. But whatever. That's bad Pharaoh. Bad Pharaoh. You know, this young generation, they got y'all scared to have babies. It's crazy. Unbelievable. The devil's working 24/7. Got you thinking. The devil's working 24/7, 365. You don't even want to have no children. They got you. You know you totally brainwashed when you make up a whole bunch of weak reasons why you ain't having no children. You should hear the reasons I be getting. I be hearing people talking about why they ain't got no children. I'm like, go look in the mirror and slap yourself. Slap yourself twice. You didn't let this system talk you into extinction. Do you know you're talking about going extinct? You don't even know, huh? Pharaoh, I don't want to have no kids. My family tree gonna go extinct. Any lady with children or any man with children will tell you that's their most precious possession. There's nothing more valuable than their children. Texarkana, Arkansas is in the building. And so we're going to talk about generational wealth, but I mean, what generational wealth with a generation that don't want to have any children? You see where I'm going? And so we're talking about generational wealth, but it's like if you get a lot of stuff, what you going to do with it? Like my great record collection here. My daughter, when she gets her job here, working at whatever hospital, and gets her place, I'm gonna take these over and set them up at her place, and then she's gonna maintain them. And then she's gonna give them to her brother, one of her brothers. But they don't live in the city. She's gonna be the only of my children that's gonna be in Chicago. So I'm gonna let her maintain them and let her give them to the either she could give them to my son or she'll give them to PJ, give them to my grandson. You know what I'm saying? It's the new thing, Slim, that people saying and things just catch on. They start repeating it. They're all gonna flip flop. So some of the people gonna be out here saying, "I don't want to have no children. I don't want to have no children." Let's say they in their 20s and 30s, and then you listen to them. And then a lot of them same people in their 20s when they get in their late 30s, and their 30s when they get in their early 40s, they gonna go have a child. Now you might mess around and try to do it and find out you sterile or you might not be able to do that. But I'm telling you, out of 100% of the people that's young that say they don't want to have no child, 80% of them gonna go have a baby. You can believe that. They just talking. 80% of them gonna go have a baby. Don't believe that. Especially women. If she get with a man that she love and he want to have a baby, she gonna drop that baby for that man. You definitely can't listen to women. Because when a woman fall in love, everything's on the table after that. She flip flop quick. I thought you said you want to have no baby. Well, Raymond want to have one. She love Raymond. You know what I'm saying? Your daughter be like, "No, Dad, I ain't having no kids. I ain't having no kids." You see her later. "Dad, I'm pregnant. I thought you weren't going to have no kids." Well, Raymond want to have one. Yeah, he said, okay, Raymond changed your mind. Raymond got up in you, and now you thinking different. Okay. If you say so. But I can't talk about generational wealth without talking about a generation. Who you gonna pass it to? How is that generational wealth when we got all our youth talking about they don't want to have no children? And you talking generational wealth and no children, making it make sense. I thought generational wealth was building up wealth to pass down to the family in the next generations. Well, we living at a time where this generation don't want to have a next generation. So make it make sense. Why don't I see any of these brothers and sisters that's talking about generational wealth, talking about creating another generation? Make it make some sense. Can you talk about generational wealth without talking about children? No. Like what generation? What generation you gonna pass it to? I'm just trying to figure that part out. I'm trying to figure it out. Who you gonna pass it to? Generational wealth is based on having a generation, and the problem with us is we're into sensational wealth. We're not into generational wealth. And so we end up buying a whole bunch of jewelry and a whole bunch of cars, right? A whole bunch of cars. When now people get rich, they don't put no money back into their community. They just go buy a whole bunch of stuff. And then they move out into a white rich area and pay all that money for them big houses out there. And then they buy all that stuff from the European system. And all that money, they be done gave that big lump sum of that money right back to the system, and they don't even know it. They don't even know that they made the money to give it back, and that they giving the money to people that's gonna put it away, and then they're gonna pass it down to their children, their grandchildren. That's gonna collect interest. You're gonna buy a bunch of cars that's gonna go old. They're gonna buy land. They're gonna buy stocks. They're gonna save cash. They're gonna buy gold bars. That's what they're gonna buy. You're gonna buy crypto and think you're doing something. You're gonna buy some digital, you know. You're gonna buy some digital stuff instead of gold bars. You're gonna go buy something on the internet that don't exist. You know what I'm saying? There's no such thing as cryptocurrency. It doesn't exist. They selling our people like something that don't exist. This is why they want to go into a cashless society, because money really exists. You can really stack money and it'll still have value forever. So they want to sell you a fake currency, a cryptocurrency that don't exist. What sparked this conversation was me talking about Deion Sanders' son and him buying all that junk he buying, and his daddy ain't teaching him how to stack no generational wealth. Got him buying a bunch of junk. That Rolls Royce ain't gonna be worth nothing. You understand? When you buy a car, the car depreciate for 25 years. Period. It's not till 25 years for that car worth anything. It's got to become a classic. And then when it become a classic, it got some worth, but it don't got the worth it had when you bought it. Now you got to keep it every year after 25 years for the value to go up. That's when you get the classic license plates on it. You get the, right? 25 years. So if you buy a Bentley, 10 years later, it's just junk. That money gone. On top of that, when you buy a car, right? When you buy a car, they say, but oh, gee, you could keep it nice. No, you can't keep it nice. You still got to replace parts in the car. Facts. Ask somebody. The car gonna dry rot. The car gonna dry rot. You think you parked it in a garage and you got a cover on it. The car is going to dry rot. My father's best friend, Mr. Smith, you should have seen that Cadillac. He had a Cadillac convertible, gold with the white convertible and the white leather seats. He never drove it. I don't even know what he bought it for. He bought it and it stayed in the garage, right? And finally, after about 10 or 15 years or something like that, 20 years, he went to get it and drive it. It wouldn't start nothing. It had all dry rotted. He had to end up selling it to somebody. And the man he sold it to had to totally redo it. It's still deteriorating. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you got robbed. Yeah, you get robbed. The only thing that you can buy that you're going to win with is land. The only thing you can do is buy land and stack money. Have cash money put away in a safety deposit box or something, right? Cash money, land, stocks, you know, you can buy them, but I wouldn't put the majority of my investment in no damn stocks. I put a little bit like gambling. I would gamble some, but the sure win is going to be gold bars, silver bars, land. Land is going to be more valuable than a house. Houses depreciate. Houses is just like the car. It's going to rot. The plumbing going to have to be redone. Electricity. You can't just keep a house. You have to change the plumbing. You have to change the electrical. I don't care if you don't even use it. The whole wiring is going to dry rot. You understand? The whole wiring is going to dry rot. Then when you buy a house, you got to bet on the surrounding community. If the surrounding community go down, guess what the value of your house do? Go down. When you call an appraiser, do you know what appraisers look at when they appraise your house? I could tell you one thing they look at when they appraise your house that you probably would never guess. Put in there what you think I'm finna say they look at when they appraise your house. What do you think they look at? Put it in the chat. What do they look at when they appraise your house? Put it in the chat. The foundation, she said, the pipes, the land. Anybody else? The community. You know what they look at? They look at the crime rate. If anybody got shot, probably got to go down. I don't care if it's the nicest white neighborhood. If one of them white people shoot somebody out there, that whole neighborhood property value drops. Ask an appraiser. Crime drops. I don't care how nice it is. Ask an appraiser. They don't tell you that. They don't tell you that. This is why they don't want black people moving out there, because they think you might bring some crime or some drama. You're going to depreciate that whole community. On the side note, talk, ask questions, be curious. I know a lot, not because I'm smart. I know a lot because I ask a lot and I look at a lot. You just don't get smart from out the sky. You got to study a wide variety of things. So when the appraiser came, I pulled him to the side and got a little knowledge off of him. So how y'all really appraise this stuff? He said, this, the other houses on the block. So if the neighbor's house ain't that good, your property value go down. Any crime, that whole big area go down with a crime. Not just your block. Not just your block. Crime in that area, that whole area, depreciates. Different crimes, yeah, different crimes depreciate different. Murder, real stealing and stuff, yeah. Any crime They got to let the people know that want to move over there. You know, it's crime over here. I don't move over there. You got a place don't got no crime? Yeah, we got over here. We got Burberry Park. They haven't had any incidents. I'm telling you. Nobody wants to move where it's crime. I know it sounds crazy, but it's true. It's 100% true. That's what they look at. Quietly, that's one of the biggest factors. That can affect you, and it happened 3 blocks over. Don't matter. It don't got to be on your block. All it's got to be is in your area. That's it. Petty crimes can knock your house down from 500,000 down to 300,000. Facts. Absolute facts. It's crazy, ain't it? And so that's why I say land, because land is better than a building on the land, because land always has a projected increase in value because they could build something there. So if I got some land, somebody might want to buy it and build 8 houses on it for 300,000 a house. They got 8 house, three. That's couple few million. So they might drop me half of that million, half of what they finna put in it. At the same time, a factory might come and just drop me 10 million. A business might come and just drop me 10 mil for the whole thing. You know what I'm saying? So it allow you, you know what I'm saying? And the great thing about land is, let's say you got 4 children and you got some land. A good thing you want to do is you want to build you don't want to build no big ass house like Floyd. You want to build a bunch of regular houses. You know what I'm saying? You don't go build no mansion. Build 5 houses, family houses on the land. Now your daughter got a house, your other daughter got a house, your son got a house, your grandson, your granddaughter, and you. Now they can make you an offer for the land to remove the house and put whatever you want. Right? Do I like what Boosie is doing? The houses is too big. The houses is too big. Look how long it took Mike Tyson to sell that house. Look how long it took Michael Jordan lost money on the house. Boosie should have built regular houses. No, them big old houses, he ain't gonna sell. He ain't gonna be able to sell that. Nobody ain't gonna buy it. He gonna lose money on them houses. Nobody gonna buy them houses. He gonna lose money in maintenance, and he gonna lose money when it's time to sell. It took them 20-some years to sell Michael Jordan's house. Nobody wanted Mike Tyson's house. 50 Cent bought it, then he didn't want it. 50 talk about all the time. He should have bought that house. No. What Boosie is building, he could have had how many houses? If he would have made that a subdivision, right? He could have had how many houses on that property? How much is that? He could have built a community instead of them. He should have built a community. He should have went and got the permits. So he should have built a community. Then he could have had the community. He could have had a store. He could have had a gas station. See what I'm saying? He could have built a bunch of apartment complexes. Pharaoh, what would you do right now if you got 100 acres of land? If I got 100 acres of land, I wouldn't do nothing with it right now because haste make waste. So I wouldn't do nothing. I just sit on it. Because when you jump and make a decision about something, it's going to be the wrong decision. But out of that 100 acres, for sure, a piece of it I'd build a bunch of houses. I wouldn't put tiny houses. I put some nice 3-bedroom houses, 2 baths, 3 bedrooms, 2 baths. You know what I mean? Some houses, G-Ra, 3 bedrooms, 2 baths. Why don't they get gas stations? Because we only think about, because we've been held down, we only think about living good. So we don't think about the past generation. They don't think about those type of investments. You think about you was poor, whatever. So I'm gonna get a house, I'm gonna get a Lamborghini. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna get the nicest watches ever. That's how you be thinking. We don't be thinking long term when we make our investments. That's why we don't buy gas stations. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, like if I got a bunch of acres, like if I had 100 acres right now, the first thing I do is I'll take a little park and I'll build a bunch of little small family homes. And I'll tell all my family all over the country, y'all can come live in one of these homes if you want to. I find out how much it costs for me to keep the home. Let's say each home costing me uh each home's costing me like 3,000 a year to maintain. That's without no electric or nothing on. 3,000 a year. And then I practically give it to my family at a price where I'm making money. But it's so much cheaper than what they paying where they paying at. They ain't paying nothing but $250 a month or some shit. Just enough for me to double my money and for them to live basically beautifully for nothing. Like a house like that might cost them so much thousands a month. I'm letting them get it for a third of that. They might be just paying me 700, you know, 700 a month for a 3 bedroom, 2 baths. Yeah, yeah. Go talk. That's another thing. If Firestone want to buy it, sell it. You want to sell it. You want to cash out as quick as possible. Shit, you don't want no ownership. Sell it. The hell you want ownership for? Sell it. Sell it flat out. Sell it. Sell it. Sold. And put your money. Whatever you paid for it. If you could sell it, make 5 times that, 10 times that. Hell, what the hell you care? Sold. Get the cash. Get some gold bars with the money. Put it in a safe deposit box. So, a bird in the hand beats two in the bush. You know what I'm saying? Let them worry about it. Like, why would you worry about it? If they gonna give you a lot of money and you finna come up on the deal, don't be trying to like, well, I'm gonna come up like this, which is big. I want to come up like this. Nah, a come up is a come up. If you can sell it and make a lot of money, don't get greedy. The greedy become the needy. No, I don't want to make a lot of money. I want to make a whole lot of money. Man, make the lot of money. Get your money back and a big ass profit. So now you got that money back. Then make another investment with that little bit of money. Okay, let's say you paid whatever you paid for it originally, plus that other money, put the profit up. Take the money that you originally paid for that. They say it's 90 or 100 million and you ain't taking it. What is you doing? What you want, 100,000 million? How much you want, bro? You didn't pay no 90 million for it. So, what did you pay for it originally? G-Rock, what did you pay for it? Okay, it's an inheritance. All right. So you get 90 million. So if they give you 90 million, you put 80 million up, you take 10 million and buy some more land for inheritance. And then you keep that land, and then you take the new land and pass that down as an inheritance. So you got some new land for inheritance, and you got $80 million. Think about it. If they give you $90 million, they give you $90 million. You take 10 million, buy another piece of land that same size somewhere else, put $80 million in the damn bank. Still inheritance. Your family ain't gonna be mad if they inherit 80 million. I'd rather have 80 million than the land any day, anyway. Because all I'm gonna do is get with the land and then try to get 80 million out of it. The land, you inherited the land to sell. You didn't inherit the land for somebody else to inherit the land and somebody else to inherit the land. You inherited the land, the value then went up on the land. The value could go down on the whole area. What if something bad happened over there and then the area ain't worth nothing? You know what I'm saying? G-Rob, what if something bad happened over there? And they find out, oh, this is this. Now, it ain't even worth 90 million no more. Let them get over there and let Firestone worry about it and cash out. You ain't cashed that out? You should cash out. Tell them, I don't want nothing. I just want my cash. I don't want nothing on the back end. For what? If I got hundreds of millions, if I got $80 million, I can get my own back end. You know what I'm saying? I got the back end, the back end, the back end of the back end. I sell that shit for $90 million. Come on, man. Straight off the top, I'm probably going to take, okay, I got 90 million. I'm probably going to put 70 million up. I'm probably going to put 10 million in the stock market. What the hell do I care? I can't lose. I got fucking 80 million, 90 million. If I lose 10 million, who cares? I'm going to roll the dice with the $10 million worth of stock. You can't lose because you ain't going to put it all in one stock. You're going to put 100,000 in this, 100,000, that 100,000. That's a lot of 100,000s. Somebody going to hit. So you can't lose because somebody going to hit and get all the money that you put in all the stocks. One stock is going to give you all that money back. So if I put $10 million in stocks, 100,000 in a lot of stocks, the one stock that hit is going to get me the whole 10 million back. What you going to build on it for? Why would you build on that when you can get 90 million and build somewhere else? Ain't no way. So, so saying, G-Rock, get the getting while the getting is good. You better get it while it's hot. I don't know why you're trying to figure out how to make more money than 90 million. 90 million. How much you trying to get? This is 90 million they're going to give you right there. Why would you wait to try to back up 90 million? I'm going to build this and that and wait forever to stack up when they're just going to drop it on you. Boom. Now, you take a portion of that, go invest however many acres it is. You can buy that many acres for probably 5 million. Same 5 million going to buy you a bunch of empty acres again. Sell. A bird in hand beats two in the bush. Anytime y'all got a hot deal out there, cash out. Well, you want to lose money. It should have been so. You should have sold it. Monday morning, You should be having that. That need to be sold. That need to be sold because 110 million reinvested is $1 billion. You ain't thinking. 100 million, 110 million. A simple 20 million of that could turn to $1 billion. That's how you got to look at it. For you, they're giving you more investment money to buy more than that land. I'm telling you, so a bird in the hand beats two in the bush. The guy, he caught a bird and then he seen two birds and he let it go. And he went to get the two birds and they flew away. Now he had no birds. If you can get 110 million right now in this economy and you don't get it, in the economy that might tank, things ain't gonna necessarily get better. So you don't bet G-Rock on things getting better. That's not a good bet. 100 million, 110 million. Just send me a million. That's all. Send me a meal. I'd be happy. Just send me a million for the advice. A million to me is 10 million. That's what I'm trying to tell you. 110 million to you, boy. That's billions and billions and billions of dollars you could probably make off of that 110 million. You know what I'm saying? Bro, that's some serious money that could really do some things. And that's something that a lot of money like that, it allows you to make a whole lot of small investments and still have a lot of money. If they give me 110 million, I can make a whole bunch of investments out of 20 million and still got 90 million. And I done made a whole bunch of little $100,000 investments that could make millions. Better think, G-Rod. You can't even lose. Where people lose, G-Rod, is they'll get 110 million and they'll go invest 70 million or something stupid. No, you get 110 million, you invest little 100,000s and let that got to work. You don't go like, okay, let me gamble it all back. Oh, no. You go pinch off some and you gamble 100,000 on this, 100,000 on that, 100. You don't gamble no 10 million on one venture. 100,000 in this venture, 100,000 in that venture, 100,000 in that venture, 100,000 that till you do 20 million, and you're still sitting on 90 million. So rock and roll. Let's rock and roll. Let's rock and roll. You can't lose. How you gonna lose? I buy. Well, I buy 100,000 in Lucid. I could tell you the stocks I buy right now because Lucid, that stuff, they giving it away. But that's them Saudis over there that's building this car. And when that car pop, that shit gonna go through the roof. When Tesla, I be watching Tesla because he got to mess up. And when it drop like it is now, let me get $100,000 of this shit here because they're going to shoot back up. Somebody going to come in there. You know what I'm saying? Somebody going to come out in there. Yeah, you make a bunch of small investments and you always keep the big money where you can't lose. How could you lose if you get 110, right, G-Rock? How could you lose spending 20 and you sitting on 90? You sitting on 90 like, is it going to work, baby? Baby, we don't care. We got $90 million. We don't care if it's working or not. You know what I'm saying? Hey, G-Rock, they give you 110 and you invest 20. You don't care if that 20 work or not. I'm sitting on 90 million. And that's your level. You don't go into the 90. You play with the 20. Like, okay, this 20 is what I'm finna play with. All right, I'm not finna get them all this 20. I'm going to pinch off this 20. You know what I'm saying? Me and my wife, we finna live off this 20 and we're going to make little small investments. So out the 20, I might invest 10, 12, and that other 8, me and baby girl, we gon' we gonna just live our lives. We're gonna live the same lives we live. We can live real good off of $8 million. And we got 90. We got 8 million to play with. 90 just sitting there. Ah, we whistle where you work. Do, 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 do. You would have a care in the world. Hey, G-Rock. Hey, G-Rock. You wouldn't have a care in the world. You and baby girl then invested 12, sitting on 8 to live off of, and 90 just there, collecting how much interest? How much interest you going to get off the bank if you put 45 million in the bank, 45 million in the safety deposit box and in gold bars? So you got 45 million in gold bars put up in the safety deposit box or in a vault or some shit, because you got enough money to build your own vault in the floor of the house where nobody can get in, even if nobody know it's there. Fire could come, the vault's still gonna be there. My money right under the house. Straight up. The hell with the bank. I am the bank. I got 110 million. Heck yeah, with 110 million, you got your own vault right there. All you want to make sure is can't nobody steal it. It's fireproof. It's down under the house. You good to go. Nobody ain't gonna know what's there. Nobody. Your security game gonna be through the roof. Your new security system gonna be crazy. So yeah, sell, 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 sell. I'll sell. I sell. As soon as I sell and they give me that money, I put 250,000, buy me some Firestone stock. You know what I'm saying? I'll take their money and buy stocks in there. Or cut that deal. Tell them, listen, you want to give me 110 million? I'll take 105 million and $5 in share. I'll take 5 million in shares. I'll take that. I'll take 5 million in shares and 105 million. Okay, you want to give me 110, give me 105, give me 5 million in shares in Firestone. Thank you very much. I really appreciate y'all. I really love y'all. And people, hey, people need tires. I'm telling you, y'all gonna give me 110, give me 105. I want $5 million in shares. I need $5 million in shares in Firestone. Thank y'all. I love y'all. And now I'm a partner. I'm officially with Firestone. We doing big Firestone thing. I got $5 million in shares of Firestone. They love me over at Firestone. You know what I'm saying? That's why I go get my tires from here on. I never buy no tires nowhere else. All my tires on all my cars is Firestone. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to all the Firestone meetings. I'm a Firestone, unofficial Firestone dude now. Hell yeah. They love me. This is the, I go take pictures, send to the whole family. This was our land we inherited. Look, it's a big, beautiful Firestone factory. Isn't this wonderful? All my relatives in Africa, they'll get some big money. Yeah, they'll get some big money. Yeah. Yeah, it be popping in Africa. Oh yeah, it be popping in Africa. They'll be like, oh my God, I cannot believe this. Believe it. Yeah, you balling. You know what I'm saying? I have it. Hey, man, in Nigeria too. Hey. Oh yeah, some of the money going to some investments in Nigeria. Okay. They say Floyd, that was a fake Floyd lost money. You know what I'm saying? See, Floyd is an idiot, okay? Floyd got all that money, bam. This type of stuff Floyd was doing. A fool. You don't never buy nothing that you can't use. You don't buy more shoes than you can wear. You don't buy more clothes than you can wear. And you don't buy more cars than you could drive. When you get your money, if you got good money, you shouldn't have nothing but 2 or 3 vehicles. And you shouldn't have no 2 cars. Okay? If I get a whole bunch of money, I'm going to buy a car. I'm going to buy a truck, like a pickup truck or a van. I'm going to buy a box truck. And I'm going to buy a big rig. Period. This is supposed to be a car, a nice pickup truck or van, a box truck, and a big rig parked out there. So now I got more money coming in. I got more money coming in, right? Now, the little family members or friends and stuff, I got jobs, okay? So now, boom, I got my own box truck. I got my own big rig. Now I got my own products. Not only do I got my own products, I got my own trucks to deliver it to the stores. You know what I'm saying? You got to be really on your square. So now all these people around me ain't leeches. I got them working. So now they becoming productive. And when they become productive, they better for my movement, for my organization. Because either you're going to make the people around you productive or they're going to be a bunch of leeches and you're going to have to get rid of them. So you can't just have people around you just eating off of you. So, okay, yeah, you my wife, we're going to get married, but you finna be on this phone and you finna be the dispatcher for this damn box truck and this big rig. Yeah, you finna be dispatching, okay? And we finna teach these children this stuff because they might not be able to box. So who gonna keep the money the next generation? We try to build generational wealth. So now I done bought a box truck, I done bought a big rig. 6 years later, I got a whole trucking company. You understand? But no, he go lease this, then he go back and lease these. And now he's broke. He buy all this because he wants sensational wealth. He don't want generational wealth. The only thing over here worth anything is some of these watches. And guess what? If you touched it, it ain't worth nothing. Anybody tell you that? If you added anything to it, whether it's your car, your watch, or whatever, if you don't leave it factory, it ain't worth nothing. Once you go put all them diamonds around it, it ain't worth nothing. Once you diamond encrusted and ours ain't worth nothing. Anybody tell you, if you buy a car and you want to be able to save it to be a classic, you have to keep it factory. Once you do anything to it, it's not worth nothing. So if he had anything done, look at all these watches. Now, if these watches are top of the line watches and he haven't done nothing to them, the value go up. The value go up. But if he had stuff done to him, the value is nothing. The gold he got, he need to go get it melted down into bars. Because it ain't going to be worth nothing like this. Right? This is just a pile of junk. He'll never get his money back from it. He need to turn it into the raw minerals. You see that watch he got on his arm with all them diamonds? That watch is worth a lot of money. Now, if he bought it like that and it's original, the value going to go up. But this is just a whole lot of money that he done messed up. If he put anything in them watches, he threw his money away. You know what I'm saying? Just a whole bunch of junk. But let him tell it. He thought he was really doing something. But he was spending like a lady, like an obsessed lady that's always at the mall. money could have been spent much better. And that's why now he's struggling financially. You understand? Because we don't be practicing financial wealth. We don't practice that. We don't practice real financial wealth that could be generational wealth. You know what I'm saying? You have to start thinking. You don't want to pass no bunch of watches and stuff down to your next family. You know what I'm saying? What is generational wealth? The accumulation of assets such as cash, property, investments, and other financial resources that are passed down from one generation to the next. With the Jewish people, they teach that you must pass money down to the children and the grandchildren. And if you don't, you're a failure. That's what they teach. They don't teach that you great by how much money you got. They teach you great by how much you can pass down. That's what they teach. That's a part of their lifestyle that you must pass money down that's going to go to your grandchildren. Everything you're doing is for the grandchildren. So that means you gonna have babies. Then what? They not marrying you. You gotta have a baby. Okay. You gotta have a baby because they know if you ain't got no babies, you ain't got no money. You just wasting your time. Because anything can happen to you and you gone. And then everything you got is gone if you ain't got no children. Everything's gone. You did all that for nothing. Because we live in a life where life ain't really guaranteed like that. Life insurance is good. Life insurance kind of qualify. Life insurance is great. Don't get me wrong. But what about all this money you're throwing away? And what good is life insurance if you ain't got no kids? Life insurance for who? Who? You ain't got no babies. Who life insurance for? You gotta have babies. The life insurance is good, but you should be trying to pass down everything, not just no life insurance. You need to be really established in something so that so your children can compete with these other races. Because if you don't, they ain't gonna be able to compete for sure with these Jewish people, these white people, and these Asian people. They ain't gonna be able to compete in the next generation. They just not. Because these people's coming in our neighborhood, renting little places and selling us gyros and selling us Chinese food and stacking their money, they're buying the whole building. See, them Chinese buying them buildings they working in. These Arabs, these Persians, they buying those buildings in your neighborhood. You just think it's just a Chinese restaurant, but he's stacking his money and he making a deal with the people that own the building, the realty company. He gonna buy the whole building. They're gonna buy the building. And they're gonna take all that money from you buying that hair from them and all that, and they're gonna send their children to school to be lawyers, doctors, and all that. Then they're gonna bring all that money back and stack it on top of what their parents already established. So now they buy the building, they send their son to law school. He come back, he might put a whole school there, he might put a whole law firm there, he might do whatever. Because the next money come back, and then the next money improve on everything they own. And they bring more people from the old country to come and dominate. Basically. Generational wealth involves accumulating and growing assets over time, then passing them to future generations through careful planning and management to provide ongoing financial support and opportunities. This is what they be doing. Because if I leave some money from a life insurance policy to my children, that ain't gonna be no good because I ain't set no type of standard. So they ain't gonna know what to do with that money. They gonna mess that money up. That money they get from a life insurance policy, they should already know where to put that money. But you can't just give them a life insurance policy. They don't know where to put it. They're gonna jag it off. You need to be established in somewhere for them to know where to put the money when they get it. That money should go back into stuff you already got for the family. So we already got businesses that's bringing in money, and you got a life insurance policy. But you already in the mindset of family business. So you're not going to jag the life insurance policy out. You're going to save it just like I taught you to save the money you got. The money you got, I showed you how to save it. Now you got even more than I had. You didn't triple, quadruple the money I had, and now you're going to give it to the grandchildren next. You look up generations, black people doing well, but black people only dealing with today. And even when you leave stuff to your children, it's just for today and tomorrow. You're not doing long-term grandchildren, great-grandchildren, these other people, they thinking great-great-grandchildren. They thinking to preserve the race, to preserve the family long term. We only thinking 2 generations, us and the kids. That's it. That's it. That's why we behind. We don't be thinking long term. See what I said? I didn't say the Jewish people think about they passing down to their kids. I said they think about passing down to their grandchildren. They don't teach children. They teach grandchildren. That you need to be established enough money to go to the grandchildren. So they already got that the children gonna do the grandchildren. That's automatic. Because the children got to do right in order to get to the grandchildren, psychology. So because they teach that pass down to the grandchildren, right? If I teach my son that my money got to go to the grandchildren, then my son gonna think that the money he gonna have when I'm gone got to go to what? My what? Great grandchildren. Because his grandchildren is gonna be my great grandchildren. So if I'm thinking grandchildren, then my son thinking grandchildren, then his son thinking grandchildren. That's grand. That's long term. This is how they do. They thinking long, they playing long ball because they know time go like that. So when that time blink, they want to be on top. It's not next generation wealth. Is generational wealth, which means generation after generation after generation after generation. So passing something down to your children, that's not generational wealth. Generational wealth goes generational. I know too many people inherit stuff from their parents. They ain't got nothing now, though. They ain't got nothing now. They just spent it. They blew it. That's not generational wealth, me giving my children money and they mess it up. That's not generational wealth. Generational wealth is like the Jewish people. They passing it to the grandchildren. That's generational. Generational means many generations, not just the next generation. The next generation is not generational wealth. Generational wealth is wealth that go from generation to generation to generation to generation. You understand? That's what we got to get on. To build generational wealth, you need to invest in assets, asset classes that are stable for long periods of time, like real estate, which generates cash flow and appreciates over time. right? But what they're not telling you is what kind of real estate. They're not telling you. At the median, an inheritance increases wealth by more than $100,000 for white families and only $4,000 for black families. More than $100,000 do they inheritance increase their stuff. They inherit over 100,000 and we inherit 4,000. Researchers sent out more than 83,000 fictitious applications, half with white sounding names, half with black sounding names. The white sounding names were 9% more likely to receive a call back. The law of supply and demand. As demand goes up, prices goes up. This type of bias may partially explain the income gap. And the reason we're trying to get a call back, because we call in white businesses. If we create our businesses, we're going to get a call back. We're not going to discriminate on you based on your name. So the reason we get discriminated against, because we won't build our own. My Jewish friends, they get their property from Jewish real estate companies. They don't got to go to Germans. They ain't got to go to African Americans. They ain't got to go to Chinese. They go to Jewish realtors. They go to Jewish doctors. They go to Jewish lawyers. They go to their own people for everything they want. And they make sure they invest in their own people so that they can go to their own people. So generational wealth is sending your children to medical school so they could be nurses and be doctors. Sending your children to law school. This is what the gangsters did. They say, you can't be no gangster, Johnny. You're going to law school. You understand me, Johnny? You're going to law school. Peter, you're going to be a doctor, but I don't want to be a doctor. Well, you're going to be one. This is how I swear to God. This is back in the 20s and 30s and 40s and 50s. This is how they did. You ain't getting no choice. They chose. You're going to be a lawyer. You're going to be a doctor. And that's it. I don't want to hear anything else. Facts. The girls, they're like, you're going to go to college and meet a nice guy and get married to a guy that's trying to make something out of himself. So they sent the white girls to college to get married. A lot of blacks don't know this. They send white women to colleges and universities to meet somebody that's about something. They don't send her there. You understand? They don't send her there to really get no career. They send her to be around people that's not standing around on the block. So they put her in the pool of men that's making something happen. So like my sister went to college, went to university, and she married a black brother that was on something. They still together. They doing great because she was in a pool of men on something. She didn't have to meet no losers at the club and that type. She didn't have to meet them. When my sister went to Northern Illinois, and I always protected my sister. She a year younger than me. So when she went there as a freshman, I went up there. And when I went up there, I went and they had a party like homecoming night. And it tripped me out because, you know, I had been going to parties and stuff in the neighborhood and in Chicago and stuff. But when I'm up at a university, I'm up at Northern. So this was tripped out. So I asked a girl to dance, right? So when I asked a girl to dance, every girl said the same thing. I asked a girl to dance, we dancing. So she said, what's your name? I'm like, my name is, I think Michael. I don't think I was conscious. I ain't had no dreadlocks or nothing yet. Right? I was like, my name is Michael. She's like, oh, so what are you planning to do? What are you planning to do with yourself? What are you studying? I ain't studying nothing. I go to music. I was like, oh damn, you know what I'm saying? I was going to music school. No, I don't think I went to music school that next year. So that year, I think I was getting ready to start music school or something, but I wasn't in school. I was working. 'Cause when I got to high school, I worked a year. Then I went to music college. But when the girls asked me what I'm planning to be, I didn't know what to say. What I'm planning to be. Oh wow. I gotta think about it. And they vibe was like, if you couldn't answer that and you wasn't on that, it ain't nothing to talk about. Straight up. That was like, if you ain't on that, if you can't answer that, uh, I thought it was just the first girl and I danced with the next girl. Same thing. Oh, so what are you taking? What do you be? I'm like, I'm up here with my sister. Oh, okay, where you go to school at? Oh, I don't. You know what I'm saying? The median American white family has about 8 times the net worth of the median black family. They got 8 times. Definitely start figuring out what you're gonna do with your money. You know what I mean? You might want to start to get a wheel together. You might want to even start to give some of the money now. You know what I mean? Like you work hard, you got 3 children, you got a lot of money in your 401k, you got thousands. Let's say you got 90,000 or whatever. You might want to go take 10,000 out, give them all 3 grand now. Here's 3 grand for you, 3 grand for you, 3 grand for you. Why they gotta wait till you pass away? They need it now. So it might be a good idea, to get them a little break, get them a little blessing, your children, give them a little blessing. So they ain't gotta wait till you pass away to get a blessing. Go ahead and throw them a little something. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Give them a little blessing. Especially if you're young enough to put the money back in your 401k, Just give them a little here. Certain things you want to pass down. If you see they're a little stable, pass it down now. Like my albums, like I said, as soon as my daughter get stable and get in a place and work a year or two, I'm gonna bring the albums over and give them to her, and then let her give them to her brother. But she gonna have them already. Get her a turntable and stuff. You know what I'm saying? My youngest one, she want them. The other ones, they like, yeah, okay, Dad. But my youngest one, yeah, I want them. You know what I'm saying? Okay, I'm giving to you then. She want them for sure. You know what I'm saying? And then I let her give them to one of my sons, whichever one she decided to give it to. You know what I mean? A generational wealth is real important. It really is. And we the first generation to be able to do that. So don't feel like you late. We the first ones. It couldn't be done before this. Don't let nobody fool you. It could not be done before now. Now is the time. You all are there now. You wasn't free until 1970. So now's the time for us to come out the hole and do what we gotta do. All right. So make sure you do that. Make sure y'all support the channel. Make a donation to the channel. Venmo, PayPal, Cash App, whatever you prefer. And when it comes to the children, it comes to generational wealth, make sure you stand on business. Victory.